The Toronto Raptors are one win away from moving on to the second round of the NBA playoffs. And for the first time in Toronto Raptors franchise history, they have a 3-0 lead in a series. Does that mean anything? No, it doesn't. It really doesn't mean a damn thing. It's just a stat out there, a first for this team in this franchise. But the Toronto Raptors today, we heard after Game 2, Joe Harris left the bubble, personal reasons, he's done, right? I have the speculation that he just said, we're getting our absolute tail kicked in. There's no way. I want to be with my family for a bit longer. I'm leaving. He'll never admit to it, of course. That's just my opinion. And with that being the case, they don't have their second best scorer. And for the Raptors, you look at this, you're like, man, we've already beat them pretty good in 2 games where, he's played. Now he's not. And a lot of teams, in really any sport, would see that play down to their opponent and possibly even lose. Let me go to the Leafs for a second here. Back in the day, remember the really, really bad Buffalo Sabres? The Leafs always lost to them. That was played down to their opponent. But the Toronto Raptors, this team, this championship DNA, they don't do that. They play hard every given night no matter who is on the other side of the court. It doesn't matter. And the Toronto Raptors went out there today and straight up dominated the Brooklyn Nets 117-92. Right from the get-go, the Raptors grabbed the momentum and just built and built and built and built. It was constant dominance for the Toronto Raptors. There was a couple times where they flurried and got a little bit of a run going, but really nothing to even sniff the Raptors' lead out. It was really nothing going for the Brooklyn Nets today. And obviously the Raptors defense did a big job on that. And people are going to sit here and say, well, if they had this guy and this guy, and if they... I don't care about the ifs and the what ifs and the who she said. I don't care. Those guys didn't play. Kyrie chose not to play. Joe Harris left. Kevin Durant's hurt. You can't really do anything about that. DeAndre Jordan chose not to play. So to say, the Raptors, they're lucky these guys didn't play. No, they chose not to play. It's not like they were hurt and it was just a luck game. No, they chose it. And the Toronto Raptors went out there today, right from the get-go, and dominated this game. And that is what great teams do. Let's get into this game real quick here. First quarter, Raptors, 24 points, and they only allow 17. They were up big early on. They did, like I said, Brooklyn had a couple of little runs in there. They got it down to 7, but that was really the closest they ever got. In that second quarter, Raptors were plus 8, 33-25. I think they're up by 15 at halftime. I could be wrong. My math is terrible, as you guys know. Third quarter, Raptors still plus 1, 27-26. And in the fourth quarter, Raptors plus 9, 33-24 for the big-time victory. Look, like I said, right from the get-go, they were dominant on both sides of the ball. They made their shots, and they were locked down defensively. Yes, I understand the weapons, the offensive weapons of the Brooklyn Nets. That's not a thing right now with that roster we saw today. I get that. But if you watch the game, and you saw the way the Raptors defense was, every time they swung the ball, a Raptor player was glued to the guy getting the ball, or was right there to contest a shot. They were all over them, holding the Brooklyn Nets today to 33% from the field, 31% from 3. They did a fantastic job, and like I said earlier, they made their shots. 50% from the field for the Raptors, 47% from 3, 18 threes were knocked down by the Raptors today. 5 different guys in double figures. They were awesome today. They made their wide open shots. They played great defense. They got out and ran when they had their defensive stops. They did a great job today. But you expect nothing less from this team with the roster that you're facing. But these guys, these Raptors don't care who's on the other side. They're going out there and giving it 100% all the time. You heard Pascal in the post-game interview. They asked him, Pascal, 3-0 lead in the series for the first time in franchise history. What does it mean to you guys? He's like, I didn't even know that, and really, I don't really care. That's obviously not a quote, but it was something along those lines. And yeah, I don't blame you, Pascal, because who cares if it's a 3-0 series? You got to win the series. You got to win 4 straight. And he said something after the game that I really liked. He's like, in the end, it doesn't matter, if we sweep a team, if we win in 7, it doesn't really matter. As long as we win 16 games, that's what matters. And I'm like, hey, preach that. So Pascal knows the goal. This team knows the goal. And they're just taking it one game at a time. And you love it. From the free throw line, the Raptors only got to the line 11 times. 7 of 11 from the 7-11. 9, 11. Anyways, 64% from the free throw line. They were 73% from the line, 16 for 22. In the rebounds, Raptors dominated that, 56-42. In the offensive glass, they were actually plus 198. But this is something that when this Raptor team is doing this certain thing, they straight up dominate a game and they're unstoppable. When their defense is going, when they're making shots, and they had 35 assists. The ball was humming. When you get stops, you move the ball to get wide open looks, you knock down your wide open looks, you win ball games. Period. Plain and simple. And they did that today. Every aspect of the game, the Raptors straight up dominated. Great job today. Only 12 turnovers, they had 14 turnovers in this game, but arguably a couple of those happened in garbage time late in the game. Where are we here? 8 steals apiece, 4 blocks apiece. We had 14 turnovers to their 13 points in the paint. Raptors just straight up dominated. I mean, they went right at Jared Allen and did not make him, just made him look silly. 46 points in the paint. They had 22. Second chance points, they won that 12-9. Obviously, they had the extra offensive board. And fast break, Raptors had 20 fast break points, big time. When you're getting as many stops as the Raptors do, and as they did today, they get out and run. That's the type of offense this team loves to play, run and gun. And that's what they did today, and they were awesome at it. Let's get to these numbers real quick here, guys, because this team was awesome. OG Anunoby, 8 points, 5 boards, 3 assists on 4 of 7 shooting. He missed both threes he took. He had a steal in the ball game. It was a plus 23 while he was on the floor. And can people stop harping on Pascal? We've talked about having an off game. And last game we talked about, hey, he played a great first half. He seemed to be forcing it in the second half, but he gave you incredible defense and a lot of other things to help your team win. Today, oh boy, Pascal. This was his best game of the postseason. Might have even been his best game in the bubble. 26 points, 8 boards, 5 assists, 11 of 23 shooting, 2 of 4 from the line, knocked down a couple threes, 2 of 6, had a steal in the ball game, and was a plus 23 on the floor. Not only did he have 26 and 8 and 5, it was the way he was going about getting those. You didn't see him try and take some mid-range. You didn't see him try and go ISO ball on somebody and just take a mid-range. No. He tried to get in the paint, tried to out-muscle guys, and was aggressive and hard to play against. That's where Pascal dominated last year. That's where he dominated in this game. That's how he dominated early this year. Was being aggressive, getting into the paint. But there's a difference between being aggressive and smart and aggressive and stupid. There's aggressive and stupid where you're going aggressive into the paint, but there's 3 guys around you and you're still trying to take a shot. He was also good because when he's being aggressive and smart, he's getting in the paint. There's nothing there. All right, kick it to somebody else. Hence the 5 dimes he had today. Great job by Pascal Siakam today. He was electric. He was fantastic, and it was great to see him get a good game under his belt kind of before we head into that series against Boston, because inevitably we're going to be facing the Boston Celtics. I do not trust Philly whatsoever. I don't think anybody does at this point without Ben Simmons. All right, Marc Gasol had 3 points, 5 boards, 6 assists, was 1 of 7 from the field, guys. Was 1 of 4 from 3. He had 2 blocks in the game, was a plus 16 on the floor in 21 minutes. He didn't really do anything to hurt you. He really didn't. He had 6 dimes as well. I'll take that from Mark. Kyle Lowry, double-double, 11 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists on 3 of 7 shooting, 3 of 4 from the free throw line, 2 of 5 from 3, had 3 steals and a block in this game, and was a plus 27. Kyle Lowry really got the job done today. And the man that, I would say half court, but it was even beyond half court, Fred VanVleet. What a game yet again for Freddie V. And we all know his numbers against the Brooklyn Nets over the course of the season was just incredible, and it continued into the playoffs. 22 points, 5 boards, 5 assists for Freddie, 8 of 13 shooting, 6 of 10 from 3. He made 8 threes in Game 1, and in Game 3, he makes 6. Big job for Fred VanVleet today. Had a steal in the ball game, was a plus 18 on the floor. And you know Fred's getting confident when he starts doing the Kyle Lowry, in transition, moving up the floor, and takes that transition 3. Lowry hit one of those actually late in the game, one of the transition threes. But Fred VanVleet did it in this game as well. That's why we all know, we all have this feeling that once Fred VanVleet gets signed in the offseason, because we all have faith he's staying with this team, why would he leave? He can get the money. He's getting the championship. He already has his chip. And he's got a team that's already dominant. And his best buddy Pascal's on the team. And this team, undrafted, took you on, groomed you, and he is the way he is now. I can't see why he'd ever leave. And Fred VanVleet, what a job today for Freddie V. All right, and this is where things need to continue to get better for this team. The bench scoring. Against great teams like the Boston Celtics, they have a great starting unit. Don't get me wrong. Tatum, Brown, all these great players. Kemba, they're fantastic players. Their bench is weak. And if the Raptors can get guys like Norman Powell, Serge Ibaka, even a guy like Terrence Davis, if they can start cooking in a series like that and make an impact, it'll be huge for this team. 11 points, 4 boards, 2 dimes for Norman Powell, 4 of 8 from the field, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 2 of 4 from beyond the arc. It was a plus 12. He was on the floor. By the way, Fred VanVleet was a plus 18 on the floor, and he also had a steal in the game. I forgot to say that. And Serge Ibaka, after a terrible game, too. He was really, really bad in game. I think he only had like 8 points and 6 boards, something like that. It's not even going to load for me so I can see the numbers for Serge. There he is. 8 points, 6 boards. He shot 3 of 9. Really not a good game for Serge. He's used to getting a double-double, double-digit points. That's what we're used to seeing from Serge coming off the bench. 20, 13, and 2 in 23 minutes for Serge Ibaka. 8 of 12 shooting, 1 of 1 from the line, 3 of 3 from 3. Had a steal in the ball game, was a plus 12. He was on the floor. Made an impact. You love to see it from Serge. And Terrence Davis, again, in the 2 games that he's played so far in the playoffs, he hasn't disappointed. 17 minutes, he had 9 points, couple boards, 3 assists on 4 of 5 shooting. Was 1 of 2 from 3. Had a steal in the game and was a plus 15. Great job by TD2. Those 3 guys, and you could also throw guys like Boucher and Matt Thomas into the mix, but those 3 guys specifically, Terrence Davis, Norman Powell, Serge Ibaka, are going to be huge come round 2. Because you know what your starters are going to do. They're going to shut down the opponent, contain the other starters, and they're going to get their offense. If our bench can outplay the Boston Celtics bench, we will win that series. It's plain and simple. And we know our guys can do it. So one step at a time, you got to get there. Game 4 for the Raptors and Nets goes on Sunday evening. Holy smokes, not an afternoon game for once. 6:30 tip-off there as the Raptors look for that. They look for that. Yeah, I'm not going to say it. I didn't say it for that Jays one against Baltimore, and they did it. You guys know what I'm talking about. They look to bring out the brooms against the Brooklyn Nets. I'm not going to say the actual word because why would I do that? All right, you guys know what I'm talking about. 6:30 tip-off, and look to just end the series, be done with it, relax, move on to the next series, and focus on the Celtics. That's what you want to do in Game 4. You don't want to go to Game 5 and just have this thing drag out a little bit, because I have a gut feeling the Celtics series is only going 4 games as well. That's just my take on that. All right? So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the game and enjoyed the video, smack the like button. Do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the game, your thoughts on the video. Also, your take. Who's your MVP in today's game? That is a very tough one, guys, because there was 5 guys in double figures. I think 3 guys had 20 points. You had Siakam at 26, Freddie V at 22, and Ibaka at 20. Who would you give it to? You got to give it to Pascal. That's my guy in this one, Pascal Siakam, because of the bounce-back game and the way he got the 26, 8, and 5. That is what I love to see from Pascal. Fred VanVleet, you can't... Look, you can go 1A, 1B with Freddie V and Pascal. Who's your MVP? Let me in the comments below. If I missed anything, let me know. And Twitter is down below for myself. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff. Also, the Instagram link is down in the description, so follow up there if you've not done so already. All right, and I will talk to you guys Jays Edition as they open up a series against the Tampa Bay Rays tonight down at the Trop. It's a 6:40 first pitch. Matt Shoemaker, Ryan Yarbrough is the pitching matchup. Thank you guys so much. Whoa, no, I totally forgot the Raptors. My goodness. And Game 4 of the Raptors and Nets goes on Sunday evening, 6:30 tip-off down there in the bubble in Orlando, Florida. Raptors looking for the... You guys know what I'm talking about. They look to do so and end the series and move on to Boston. All right, so thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll talk to you guys then.